Hello everyone, my name is Asrofa. I'm the student of IPMI International Business School from the class of Executive MBA. Today, I would like to share about corporate finance that I have learned from IPMI by the class of Prof. Roy Semba. This is the mind mapping. All what I have learned is stated here. I had learned for about 10 chapters, and I will elaborate all of this mapping one by one in the next slide. This is the chapters that I had learned. There are 10 chapters, which are Introduction of Financial Management, Time Value of Money, Capital Budgeting, International Finance, Analysis of Security, Capital Structure, Corporate Restructuring, Fraud Management, Efficient Market Hypothesis, and Dividend. I will elaborate this chapter one by one. First chapter is Introduction of Financial Management. In this chapter, there are consists of 3 parts that I have learned, which are Sustainable Value Creation, 5 Business Essential, and GCG Principle. For Sustainable Value Creation, we have learned about profit maximization and wealth maximization. And for profit maximization, there are 3 aspects, which are timing, risk, and sustainability. About wealth maximization, there are 2 aspects, which are maximize stock price and efficient market. For 5 business essential, there are 4 parts, which are cash, profit margin, velocity, growth, and customer focus. For GCG principle, there are 2 kinds that I had learned, which are tariff concept and principal agent problem. For principal agent problem, there are 3 kind of part that I have done, which are asymmetric information, moral hazard, and conflict of interest. These are the next chapter that I had learned, which are time value of money, and the next chapter is capital budgeting, and follow with international finance. For time value of money, I have learned about compound interest and the rule of 72. And for component interest, I have learned about future value and present value. For capital budgeting, we learn about sensitivity analysis and estimating cash flow. For estimating cash flow, there are 6 parts, which are initial outlay, operating cash flow, terminal cash flow, net present value, profitability index, and the last is internal rate of return. The next chapter that we have learned is international finance. There are consists of 3 parts, which are foreign exchange market, currency future apps and option, and arbitrage strategies. This is the next chapter that we have learned, which are analysis of security, capital structure, and corporate restructurization. For analysis of security, there are 2 kinds that we had learned, which are fundamental analysis and technical analysis. For fundamental analysis, there are consists of domestic, global, economic, and market sentiment, and then market ratio analysis. After that, company analysis, and followed with financial statement and ratio analysis, and DuPont analysis. For financial statement and ratio analysis, we had learned about profitability ratio, liquidity ratio, and efficiency ratio. For DuPont analysis, we had learned about net profit margin, return on asset, and financial leverage. For capital structure, we had learned about value of firm and debt ratio. Next chapter that we had learned is about corporate restructurization. There are consists of financial distress and LBO or leverage buyout. For financial distress, we learn about turnaround opportunity and permanent problem. For turnaround opportunity, there are three parts, which are operation restructuring, asset restructuring, and financial restructuring. For permanent problem, there are two parts, which are private liquidation and legal bankruptcy. And this is the next chapter that we had learned, which are fraud management, efficient market hypothesis, and the last is dividend. For fraud management, we had learned about corruption, asset misappropriation, fraudulent financial reporting, and fraud triangle. For corruption, we had learned about conflict of interest, bribery, and illegal gratitudes. For asset misappropriation, we learn about cash and inventory and other assets. And then about fraud triangle, there are consists of three parts, which are opportunity, pressures, and rationalization. For the efficient market hypothesis chapter, we had learned about available information versus stock price. And finally, about dividend, we had learned about purpose and relevant factor, about sustainable value creation that are consist of profit maximization and wealth maximization. That are all that we had learned. I hope this will be beneficial for us, and if you like, please share this video. Thank you.